online. Now, as the Christmas party season gets into full swing in many parts of the world, what's your tipple of choice and what do you drink with it?
Well, when it comes to the humble gin and tonic, there's a relatively new player in town. Now, not the gin, but the tonic. Tim Warrillow and partner Charles Rolls set up a premium drinks company called Fever-Tree, and the idea of that was to, well, shake up the market.
Well, back in 2005, the product range began with tonic water using premium ingredients to create a premium alternative to the established offerings.
Well, today, 7 of the world's top 10 restaurants agree that they've succeeded in that aim.
Europe is its biggest market at the moment, but Fever-Tree products are now sold in over 50 countries around the world.
Yeah, and 80 million bottles of the stuff were sold in 2014. That generated revenues of $52.5 million.
Well, Tim Warrillow, who's chief executive of Fever-Tree, is with us in the studio, and he has brought with him, no surprise at all, some bottles of tonic water and ginger beer. I see there.
Can I say you brought the tonic but not the gin, just to be clear?
Yeah.
Well, I did ask that I could bring the gin. They said it was too early in the morning.
In the studio, absolutely,
never
absolutely
too early
right.
in the morning in the drinks trade, I can tell you.
Thanks
Welcome.
for being on the programme,
Thank you for having me.
Tim. So 2005, we've said a relatively newcomer to this market. Just tell us how it all began.
Well, really, you mentioned my business partner, Charles, and I. We got together actually back in 2003, and we both identified the same thing, the fact that the premium spirits market had been growing and growing all around the world, with better quality spirits coming to the market, more innovation, and also this wonderful craft spirit movement starting to develop. And so there was just much more interest in spirits. Bartenders were starting to celebrate spirits, great bars were opening. And so all of this was happening. But in stark contrast, the mixer category had really remained the preserve of one large global brand, and they were focusing their efforts on fighting with local, cheaper alternatives. And so it became a very commoditized category. Artificial sweeteners have started to find their way in across the board. So, you know, it struck us as extraordinary. There were people spending more money on a good quality gin, for instance, and when you actually stop and think that 3/4 of a gin and tonic is tonic, you know, surely the quality of the tonic is as important, or, as we argue, even more so than that of the spirit. So that was the idea.
But you're a relatively small player taking on the might of someone like Schweppes, who's your biggest rival in this market. They still absolutely dominate this market. You're a small firm. How do you start to take them on? I mean, how do you sell yourself? Is it about that premium range that people will have to pay more for? Or is it about selling the better ingredients that you say you've got in the bottle?
Yes, I mean, we really saw ourselves as offering something different from Schweppes. You know, we were putting quality and flavour back into this category. So, you know, we really looked at it through a different lens. You know, we went all around the world as part of our product development to go and find the very best ingredients we possibly could.
So what is the premium? How much more expensive are you? Because I think that's what it will boil down to. If people are in the supermarket shopping around, they're going to have to pay more for your stuff.
Yeah, well, broadly speaking, I suppose, you know, the only comparator we have in terms of the same size format is we're both in small cans. And to buy a can of Schweppes is about 35 pence. To buy a can of Fever-Tree is only 50 pence. So it's still very affordable, but as you say, a premium.
There, as ever, is so much more to discuss, but we are going to have to leave it there, I'm afraid. We have got an awful lot more to pack in the programme, but we appreciate you coming in, Fever-Tree company, and we'll unpack it further another time.
Yeah, we'll try it with some gin a little later. Tim, nice to see you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much, Tim Warrillow, the boss.
After the programme. Now, there's been another